We are in the Mayflower. It is fantastic. We're on Pilgrim Street and we're very pleased to be here. We are with our friends at Erdinger. I've got Emilia, Bona, I've got Stu Wright, I've got Kev Walsh. We will get on to... We sort of can't talk about Wednesday anyway without talking about Saturday, without talking about the situation. We will get on to Aston Villa and hopefully the return of our sanity and some sanity, Stu. But we've got to start off talking about Wednesday. The manager makes... Well, I don't think he thinks is a big call, but which is perceived post-match to be a big call. And I've got some sympathy as to one of the reasons why no one likes to see a team sheet drop and go, I think we're second favourites here, at the very least, at Anfield. And I think that's what happens. So I understood why people were a little oof about it. But he's not the first manager, Liverpool manager, to make substantial changes for early rounds of the domestic cup. He won't be the last.
No, I feel sorry for him on this one because I think he was in a no-win situation. I think if he'd have picked his strongest 11 and any injuries that we'd have got, would have been a nightmare. And we had picked up 2 injuries in the last round, or certainly one and a sending off, didn't we?
Yeah. And Nketiah did his hamstring. That's why he went off at half time.
Yeah, well there you go.
So wasn't just Glasner being an ass bringing him a test on when he was 2-0 up?
So I think, you know, he's caught between a rock and a hard place with this one. I think no one would have any objections at all if it wasn't for the fact that we're on such a terrible run, and everyone just wants to have the fear of victory again. Everyone wants to get this out of our system and give the lads a bit of a springboard, but I think the risks were too high. So I think he was damned either way, whichever way he did it. And you know, the benefits are he's got a full week of training with the main lads who are going to play at the weekend, which Aston Villa have got as well, haven't they? So you know, I think it's the right decision. It just didn't feel feel very comfortable at the time.
It's facts feelings, this one. Everyone just wants to have a nice time. Everyone wants to have a nice Wednesday. Everyone just has enough of getting beat. So when you do, I'll say again, you look at the team sheet and you go, I'm going to watch them get beat again here. And I think that's what wound everyone up so much.
Yeah, and as I've been told many times in my adult life, feelings aren't facts. But I get what you're saying, and the rational point is that, you know, it was a no-win situation, apart from if we had perhaps won a football match, and then I just think
win apart from winning, which would have been a win.
Perhaps winning would have been a win. I get it, and if things had been differently, no one would have had any thoughts. But it's all a little bit like flap of a butterfly's wing, and the point is we've been crap and everyone's a bit sad. So just getting a win would actually have made all the difference. And I just think there would have been so much more goodwill. All of this would be a little bit more possible to look at with some sense of perspective, with just one win. And I guess it's not just that, you know, it's a bold choice to make and that we don't win. It's that, my God, we don't win. We look rubbish and everyone walks out feeling really deflated and with no real feeling of hope going into the weekend. And I guess that's why I agree with you. It was the only choice to make, but I still think it was the wrong choice.
But for me, there's a couple of funny things. I actually think, and I think it's been missed in all the post-match stuff, I think they do all right for half an hour.
Yeah.
And I was sort of, I mean, you and I were sat quite close together, and Steve was behind me, and at one point I said to Steve, I'm quite enjoying this. On about 25, because it felt nicely sort of backs to the wall. The issue is, and the issue always is with these teams, I've seen Harvey Blair play in these teams, you know, I've got this list of lads who I've seen, and it's no disrespect to any of them as footballers, but ultimately when they come up against the hard fact of Premier League quality defenders, it's not just that you don't think you're going to win, it's, if we're honest, unless something unlikely happens, you didn't think we were going to score.
Yeah.
So as soon as it goes 1-0 to them, there's just that bit of you that goes, well, we needed to get a bit of a lucky one anyway, and now it's going to be even harder.
Yeah. But what I'd say on that is, in most of our league games, we've looked quite unlikely to score, do you know what I mean? I know we're getting goals here and there, but we haven't looked convincing in terms of going forward when we've had our full attack out there. So I wasn't bothered one bit on Wednesday night. I think he's come up and made the statements in the selection by basically saying, we've got issues in other places, and this is lovely. When we got to Wembley last year, it was great, but it's not the main concern for me. And actually, it's going to hinder the main concern if we get through. And as it proved as well, Palace got Arsenal away. So if we'd have got through playing whatever team, whether that team had won or whether the full team had won, you'd still be going, I could have done without that, you know what I mean? Arsenal away in the midweek between whatever games. There's things like Brighton and Tottenham or something like that.
And the week before Christmas.
Exactly. So you're now looking at it and going, well, that selection, obviously, it doesn't feel great getting beat at Anfield. But I was with you in the first half hour. I thought there's only one winner of that game. But then, at the same time, exactly as you said, when they scored that first goal, I just looked at the lads and just went, boys, we might as well walk home now, you know.
Well, it's one of those, I think we very rarely get to live this reality a little bit. But when I was watching it, the lads who scores, who, by the way, I think is underrated in this country at the minute. I just think if he played for us, I was almost watching it. If we just swapped shirts in that way, we'd go 1-1. If he literally just came and played for us now for the next 15 minutes, I think we'd go 1-1. Yeah. And that's a bit of a mad thing to sort of think, and we don't often have to think that because we support Liverpool, but he was by a mile the best attacker on the pitch.
Yeah, but again, no, it's easy to function as the best attacker on the pitch when you're playing with lads you've probably played 50 games with, whereas the kid who played on the right wing, I can't even remember his name, Morrison. So that's how, no disrespect to him, but he's not been in the picture, has he? So you've got players like that, and then obviously Chiesa needs to sort of have the game of his life because he's playing with Ingamoa on the other side of him, and we all want to see Ingamoa play football. I've got no problem with that selection, but you can't really compare. You're not comparing like for like if you're talking about Palace's best players playing really well with all the players that they understand and they've got the pattern to play with, and then comparing ours and saying, well, why can't you do that? And they go, well, we've never played together before. Yeah. There's literally there's 3 other lads on this pitch. I've only met them before in the changes. Do you know what I mean? The gaffer's just introduced me to him. So the League Cup, it's one of them things. You either go out early and that's sad, or you win it. There's no in between. And we were very much, if we'd have won yesterday, Wednesday, whatever, would have been in that point where we're possibly quite likely to go out in the next game, given it's Arsenal away. And then, if that's the case, you then think, oh, well, we could have had that week off. So, listen, the League Cup is great. I prefer it over the FA Cup, but we've got bigger fish to fry at the moment. And also, if we get that process right, I know we've had a nightmare few weeks, but if we can bet the players in that we bought, we could be unbelievable this season. There's still a European Cup to be won, and the league isn't gone, in my opinion. Listen, it's unlikely. I'm not saying we're definitely going to win it, but there's still loads of meat left on the bone of this season, and the League Cup wasn't part of it.
I think there's a flip side to this coin, and I don't want to go too heavy on it, because, as I said before, he's between a rock and a hard place, and it could be talked into either way. But I'll give you a scenario where he picks his first 11 and they get beat, which, by the way, is not beyond the realms of possibility against Crystal Palace. You know, we know in recent history that's happened. So the first team get picked, they're then knackered for the weekend. They get beat, and potentially as well, there might be 1 or 2 that pick up an injury. You know, so that is the worst case scenario, and it is also very, very possible if he goes with that. And I think we're all coming away from the game afterwards thinking, why has he done that? Why? And he gets absolutely slaughtered for it. So I think it's a really, really difficult one. The one thing that isn't really difficult is the weekend.
There's a thing about the competition. Kev's just sort of said it there, the way he's framed it, about where it is, where it sits in your priorities. The one thing where I think it is sort of with, I think that it felt like everyone had sort of come to terms with that prior to the pandemic. Yeah. And then Liverpool winning the season after the pandemic, and it felt great. Yeah. Like, so many bits of it felt great, because we never got the league, never got that time together, and it felt great. And it's felt like it's actually, you know, taken a bit more of a place. And I think that's worth bearing in mind a little bit as well. But also, if this is Liverpool's outlook and that's Arne Slot's outlook, I think, Emilia, there is a little bit of a point to say, which is maybe don't charge quite as much money. Yeah. If this is if this is the way it's going to be, and it is cheaper, but maybe it could go a bit cheaper again.
It's not that I disagree with what you were saying. Like, I want to win everything, but there has to be a hierarchy of what it is you're most interested in winning. But I think not even just the competition, literally just on a fixture by fixture, result by result basis, I would have liked to have come out of it feeling in some way positive. You're right that it would be wrong to kind of like make a really strong selection, have injuries, or get beat and everyone feel even worse. But I just think, irrespective of where I'm ranking it as a concept, I just wanted to come out of Wednesday not feeling like shit, and I left feeling really, really sad. I just my men's mental health is on the floor. It's absolutely on the floor. But yes, you're right. If we've made a decision at the very beginning that we're not really giving this any sort of importance, this isn't where our priorities lie this season, that's fine. I just don't know if that's the case, or whether it was, we're basically playing every like 3 days now for the foreseeable, so we need to rest some lads to have some hope going into the weekend.
Yeah, I think he said a bit. I think that he gets asked today in the press conference about the squad, because he makes the remark afterwards and he points a couple of things out. He was at pains to say, no, the process we've gone on, I'm right behind it. I like where the squad is. I do think, though, we know he likes where the squad is, but quite literally their captain, he tried to buy him. Yeah. So we know we would like one more defender. And then I'm looking at it thinking, well, last season he had 5 forwards, this season he's got 4 before you get to Chiesa and Rio. I suspect he'd quite like there to be a 5th forward. Yeah. And I'm also a little bit Kev, and I mean, like, if we're going to year on year be the club we want to be, I think last season he has 4 midfielders who he likes, and he has Endo and Elliott. This season he's got 5 midfielders he likes if you include Florian Wirtz, and then he's got Endo. And again, huge respect to Endo, everything he's done since he's been here, attitude on him, etc., etc. But I do just sort of think, yeah, but maybe that one needs to be better now.
Yeah, listen, I've been saying it for ages with Endo. Lovely fella, clearly the nicest man in the whole wide world. It's not that good at footy though, you know what I mean? He's not a Liverpool player. He sounds to go on for that last 10 minutes if you need someone to take a book and kill the game. I've never seen him have a 90-minute game where I think, actually I can see like what people are viewing and that. But in terms of the squad mix, it sounds mad and people watching will be like, you just spent £500 million on players and you want more of them. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do, because I want a squad of players that can sort of, we can take such and such is not playing that well, just have a little rest there, mate. If Gakpo, listen, he's not playing brilliantly at the moment, but if he had any sort of considerable, even further drop in form, playing again, mate, you're playing again and you're playing again. So there's still definitely space in the squad for new players. There's probably space in the squad for churn of players as well, as much as we maybe don't like to think about that. I love Alexis McAllister, but if it goes on for much longer, then people might say, well, there's a potential that you can upgrade on him as well. I think McAllister will come back good, but if you buy someone who is not quite Alexis McAllister, there's Endo, but he's in the middle and he's pushing that way. Yeah. He becomes Endo's replacement and he pushes McAllister either onto greater things or out of the team, and I'm fine with that. His job isn't to get McAllister to be the best player in the world. His job is to pick the 11 best players to win a match for Liverpool. And if that means picking players and putting other people's noses out to joint in terms of the motivation factors, I'm fine with that, you know what I mean? So there's definitely some space that we can fill in the squad, definitely some players we could probably move on. I just think at the moment, it's hard to have a rational conversation around this because your brain's just shouting, well shit, we've been beat every week for the last 10 years because that's what it feels like. But you forget, we were talking before, 3 weeks ago we were top of the league.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we're not, we've lost games with the last kick of the ball, and that has an effect as well, doesn't it? So as quickly as it's gone downhill, I'm still optimistic that we can turn it around and see a run of results. I'd like to see a little bit of an easier fixture list than the week that we've got coming up, quite frankly. But if you can get the wins in those games, well, the rest of them start looking very easy, don't they?
I want to come back and just do the last little thing on the transfers thing. I've been of the view, Stu, that what we've just had in that summer was actually step one of 3 steps across 3 windows. And I think that that's something which could make people go, fucking hell. I think we know Liverpool actually don't like to buy players. We talked about this, that everyone likes continuity. And right now, fucking hell, we're a walking advert for continuity. Yeah. But there's got to be some points where you're not. And I just expect, genuinely, I think there's room, maybe with a little bit of churn, as Kev describes, but I think there's room for, it can sound a bit mad, for 4 more, maybe even 5 more if someone goes out the door. And then go, right, this is the squad now for 2 or 3 years with young players either coming through or being bought and then coming through. And I think that's the plan. But the point being is, that's fine, but Emilia's walking outside. Kev's worried about his last... win some fucking football matches now, please.
Yeah. No, I'd like 3. I mean, if you'd offer me 4 or 5, I'll take them, of course. But I think there's a major problem on Liverpool's left side. And I'm not even talking about Kirkes. I'm actually talking about the fact that you brought this lad in and he has 0 protection, neither from Gakpo, who contributes nothing to me in terms of the build-up play, the general play. He's got to move and he can score goals, but he doesn't offer anything else. And I think that you can't have 2 out of the 3 players at the front 3 that's the case with, you know what I mean? So I think you've got an issue with either with Salah or you've got an issue with Gakpo. Well, you've just given Salah a massive contract, so the issue is with Gakpo because Salah's going to play. So I think there's an issue there, but what I think they didn't foresee was that McAllister's legs were going to go. You know, McAllister's never had, you know, the best of legs, if you like, but they also had Diaz there who would track back and support his full-back previously, who's not there now. So I think that triangle that we used to see with Robertson, Wijnaldum and Mane, I think that's now completely disrupted, completely exposed, and Kirkes is completely and utterly isolated. He's also been asked to do something he doesn't want to do, I don't think naturally, by cutting inside. But for me, I think there's long been talk, and I think it's realistic talk, Liverpool signing Adam Wharton. I think Liverpool have got an eye on moving McAllister out. I think I've said to you before the season started that I think this will be McAllister's last season at the club. It might come sooner rather than later in January if he carries on the way it's going. It might happen. Real Madrid apparently is still interested, but I think Liverpool should sign Adam Wharton. And then I think that Ryan Gravenberch moves onto that left-sided spot, because Ryan Gravenberch, everyone forgets, is a great ball carrier as well. I think he's able to do that and cover and provide the legs that McAllister can't to get across and screen Kirkes. And then the talk of a Semenyo, whether that's, you know, to cover Salah in the future, well, he can play left-sided as well. And I think that changes everything. Plus, he's got a previous relationship with Kirkes that worked very, very well. So I think Liverpool needs a left winger. Liverpool needs a centre midfielder who will screen and be an alternative to Gravenberch and free up Gravenberch. And I think that Liverpool need a centre half, and we all know the centre half that they're after. So for me, that solves pretty much everything. And then if you want to pad it up with a couple more, I'll take that, thanks very much. But I very much agree with you that this summer, although the world's gone mad about how much Liverpool have spent and conveniently forget about what they actually brought in, I do think this is step one. I agree with you. I think this is a phased process. And I think Liverpool are going to surprise a few people, whether it be in the coming window in January or in the summer, and go again.
There we are. We are with Erdinger. We are in the Mayflower. It is indeed Friday night. It's fantastic. It's Halloween as well. It's a good Halloween. Yeah. The right amount of weather. There's, you know, it's dark. It's windy, but it's not rainy, and I think that's what you're looking for over the course of the evening. We'll be back in a second or so.
And Erdinger, please.
Stop! Don't forget the best bit.
It is Friday night. It's Neil Atkinson with Emilia, Bona, Wright, and with Kev Walsh. We are in the Mayflower. We are enjoying our Erdinger on this Friday evening. We've got to talk about Villa then. I'll go for you first. The sadness?
No, because it's got to change eventually, hasn't it? I think, do you know the only thing that's got to me at like a kind of a cellular level in the last week is that...
A cellular level? Football doesn't have effect, does it?
These cells?
The cells.
The cells are all over the place.
As we were saying, not long ago, we felt fantastic, but were those fixtures with a lot of last-minute wins just like fluky luck? And now that everyone's got to kind of play together a bit more, we're seeing that this may end up being a bit more of what the season looks like, is what scares me a bit. I'm not going into the weekend with a huge sense of hope other than eventually it has to change. I don't know how.
The one that does me in the most in this context, Kev, it's the United game, in that it's a home game. And, you know, I can look back at Palace and I can look back at Chelsea. And first, I think they're two good sides. I can look at them and they're also both last kick. And I can also look at both of them and go, Liverpool should have been 3-0 down at half-time against Palace, but they're not. They're 1-0 and they're worthy of at least an equaliser by the time that comes. Chelsea, really good second half until the shit second half, if you see what I mean. And they failed to ride the luck out. It's the United one that I can't get beyond, and that even Brentford, one of them happens to everyone every season. And if that was our one, if we'd have beat United the week before, if we'd got a point against either Palace or Chelsea, the world would just sort of feel so different in that context. For me, it's the United one. That's why I'm walking into Anfield nervous on Saturday night, and also because in all of this shit show, it's the only home game.
Yeah, the lack of home games, I was saying that at the ground the other day. We seem to have played away a lot, don't we? And there's just Anfield's where you feel the safest. The United one's the biggest worry for me, just for one reason, and it was because the selection was so wrong in that game. The selection was wrong, and then the tactics were wrong as well. I'm normally in the copper. I was in the main stand with Gibbons, and I was sat right on the halfway line, and the gap in the middle of the park was just so obvious, and we just never seemed to get on top of it. And the manager's proven himself in the past to be really adept at looking at an issue in game and working it out, and just whether it's a substitution or a tactical tweak to get it there. But it felt like everybody around me was saying, why doesn't he just put someone there? And he didn't, and obviously he'll have reasons. Exactly, yeah. But who? But the who then was, it was Wright, wasn't it? It was Florian Wright to go in that role. We seem to have it. They were letting, cannot say everyone lets him have it because he's not that good. So they're letting him have it there, and then we're just pushing all the way up like it's kids' footy. Long over the top and we'll get onto it, and it just wasn't working. It just felt like we needed something in the middle, so that it seemed obvious to me. And listen, if the manager was here, he'd probably say, well, there was this and this that went wrong for us. Fine. Against Villa, I think he's not under pressure at all, by the way, not at all. But in his own mind, he's probably thinking, I need to make sure this one sticks here. And Villa are on a good little run, but they're no great shakes in the grand scheme of things. As a home game goes, I wouldn't mind betting you would probably beat Villa at home more than any other Premier League team, considering how long they've actually been in the Premier League, and we never seem to have any issue with them. So hopefully it's the perfect one for them to just go, there we go. Maybe we do just get a lucky early goal as well, instead of it being us conceding in the first 15 minutes to a throw-in or from a corner. Maybe we create a little bit of magic and we get the goal, and everyone just goes, the whole ground, just a little exhale. Emilia's cells can all start regenerating and we'll all be fine. So I'm looking for the positive in that. And listen, we're talking about that like it's an impossible dream. It's not.
Yeah.
There's a world where we're 3-0 up against them. Like we absolutely leathered at Let's Go Madrid the other week in the first half. Then we could have been 5-0 up. If we do that same thing to Aston Villa, Let's Go better than Villa. So
we leathered Everton.
Yeah, we did.
45 minutes we leathered Everton.
Yeah.
What's the, because Wednesday's one of the first times I've been in the ground this season. What's the atmosphere been like the last couple of home games?
Well, but the problem is that you say last couple of home games. The last one was Wednesday. There was United, when it was obviously fraud because it was United.
Yeah.
Then there's the mad game against Southampton. And then the actual last game that counts is the derby.
Yeah.
It's that being that long ago, and it genuinely feels like they played the derby about a year and a half ago. Right now, and the atmosphere, by the way, was great. Anxious last half an hour because they had more of the ball than we did, or they were more than our half than we expected. But it was all right. It was good. It was positive, and I think this is the problem, Stu. At the minute is that the derby's not a normal game. United's not a normal game, and so it's almost been that long since they played Arsenal at home's not a normal game. And then the first game of the season, never a normal game, and that's Bournemouth. It's why I'm just sort of looking forward to, I'm all right with this week. You said before, it feels like a bad run. For me, it feels like more normal football. Couple of homes, albeit high profile. We get back after the international break. Couple of homes again, Nottingham Forest and PSV. Normal football. Let's just have a normal Saturday night where you go and watch Liverpool play at Anfield.
I know what you're saying, but in some respect I don't want it to be normal, because I think if Liverpool are playing well, I'd want them to do what they've done last season with great success, where they just kill games in the first half, give nothing away, feel the way into it, and then they have a good second half. Liverpool have lost 6 out of the last 7 games, I think that's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Liverpool needs to react. They need to send a message to the crowd, but also I want to see that it's affected them. Liverpool needs to come out, not over-emotional, but angry. Liverpool needs to be coming out with a real sense of urgency and fire. That sends a message to the Aston Villa players that you're getting nothing today. No first ball, no second balls. We're going to be first to everything. And if you're going to a 50-50 with us, you're going to come off worse. Then Liverpool need to really come out with fire and meet it, because that's the only way I think you pull your way through something like this. That's the way you earn your luck, you earn your breaks in the game by winning the battle. Let's go out and win the battle. Let the match take care of itself then. But if you lose the fight, you lose the game. Liverpool needs to be up for the fight. I'm sick of watching Liverpool so many times this season being passive, carrying 2 or 3 players. I don't want it. I want to go to war on Saturday. I want the Liverpool players to react and show us how much it means to them. It means more, apparently. Well, show us that it does. Fight and leave everything on the pitch, and we'll go from there, because that's the kind of performance that'll get the fans charged again.
That's also what they did for the first half against the derby. The first half of the derby was Liverpool were first to everything, constantly coming with runners, lads coming from deep, creating opportunities, scored 2 goals. And then you see the game through. You know what I mean? That, to me, that's the archetypal home performance that you want, where they go, all right, we're just not taking it. And it really did feel like we're just taking on it because it was Everton. We're just taking on your shit today. Sorry about this is what we're about. And I think that's what you want. That's what you're saying there from minute 1.
Make it uncomfortable for Villa. 11 for 11. How many of their players are you putting into our team? Form put aside, but how many of their players get in? You know, I like Morgan Rogers, because not many really for discussion around the table. We are better than them. So let's make it a 50-50, let's make it a leveler, let's make it a war of attrition. Liverpool, regardless of injuries, Liverpool need to make this a battle now. They need to fight their way out of this situation, and then you earn your breaks from there.
Who are you picking for your war of it? All right, well, let me phrase this another way. Who are you picking at centre-half? Van Dijk and...
I thought Gomez got too much stick the other night, because I think
he
that...
played really well, you know.
Yeah.
I know he cocked up for the goal, but I thought overall he's played really well.
But look at who he's playing with as well. Put him in the first level. I think Gomez has got a great relationship. Time and time again has proved that when you put Gomez in the back 4 alongside Virgil van Dijk, they've got a brilliant partnership. And he, by the way, he carries the ball and he moves the ball far better than Canate does. I'd much rather see, when we're talking about going to war and having a fight, but keeping your edge within that fight, Canate doesn't do that. As soon as Canate's in a battle, his head's gone. So for me, you know, I'd have Gomez. I'd have Gomez, but I don't think that's where the big questions are in this team. I think it's in the next two lines.
Gomez, though. There's another benefit for Gomez. He's much better at punching the ball out of the defence to midfield than Konate is. They will not give Gomez as much time as they give Konate, and the fact that teams are happy to give Konate that time allows them to just sit in a shape, which then when we do finally get the ball forward, well, they're like, yeah, go ahead, try and do it. If they've got to go to Gomez, that creates a crack somewhere else. So honestly, he's a better defender and he's a better football player. Give him the run of games, and if he gets injured, we're only in the same place we are now. He's not playing anyway, is he? So just go for it. Honestly, I'd play Gomez, mate.
Okay, a lot of Gomez love. Are you playing left back?
It's really hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to make the decision.
But you're not making it right now.
No, as in, no, what I'm saying is whatever the decision is, I will criticise it. But
The most female thing I've ever heard.
No, I'm saying it's the most Liverpool supporter thing I've ever heard.
no, like, do you know when you're saying for the team on Wednesday, like you can't do right for doing wrong or whatever the expression is. Whoever he chooses, I'm going to say it's the wrong choice, which is why I think it's almost wrong of me to try and make a decision because
You're on
I
record now
genuinely.
as well. You can't say a word after this.
I
Now.
can't
You're
say
absolutely on record.
But I will.
Who would you play left back?
Robertson for me. Kirkes is, listen, he's a young kid and
He's a very young kid.
he's floundering at the moment, and you can. There's obviously an argument to say just keep playing him until he plays himself into form, but there's also the arguments that we done that to ensure, and we just kept playing him and he just disappeared.
He's not going to play himself into form. He's got no protection around him, by the way, is he?
Yeah.
He's just hanging him out to dry.
We probably need like a bit more of a wise head there. Like Robertson, it's not like Kirkes is being asked to bomb up and down the wing. So if we're playing the same exact style, Robertson will probably be like, hey, this is sound, this makes sense. Doing half the run he used to do, because he's more like tucking into the midfield. Plus as well, he's just that little bit more switched on, isn't he, defensively. I felt sorry for Kirkes the other day. There was one on the right-hand side by the cameraman, and like so he took a throw and got it back, and like it was like he had his boots on the wrong feet, and you could just see he must have just been thinking, just put my number up, just get me off the pitch, it's not going well for me. And
there was a point where, right, so I think maybe around the same time, where Chiesa mimed on him on how to take a throw in.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's getting a bit heavy at this point.
That was that one, because he took an absolute eternity to throw it in, and then I think it was Ingamoa giving it back, and I felt bad for him. I really did. I felt bad. And listen, I absolutely was in favour of signing Kirkes, by the way. The Kirkes at Bournemouth last year, brilliant, absolutely fantastic, and that player's still there. But as you said, the system's changed and it really isn't suiting him. And I just feel like you can keep going and going and going on him, but you'll either make him or break him. And I just don't feel like we're at that point where we need to make him or break him, because we've got Liverpool's potentially best ever left back, obviously getting on in years, sitting there waiting to go on, who you know is, I was going to say guaranteed to give you a 7 out of 10. Robbo can throw a stinker in now and again, but I feel like at the age that he is and the experience that he's got, if he comes into this game, he plays the game, not himself. He goes in and goes, I just need to be there. I don't need to be there, and I definitely can't be there, so I'll be there. And Robertson there beats Kirkes there.
No, you're right. The only thing with Kirkes is that I don't think it's just a problem with him. I think it's that if he had come in, you're right that the system doesn't suit him as much, but if it was in a team where there'd been a bit more consistency, then he would have been able to play in form. He would have had the space to grow and settle in and do all of that. And I just think it's almost unfair to have asked him to do that when everything is changing around him all the time, and he probably doesn't know if he's coming or going.
I mean, the shout between for the left back, I've told you what type of game I want to see. You know what I mean? And there's no better user of the dark arts in the Liverpool squad than Andy Robertson. I want to see Andy Robertson doing full Andy Robertson things. I want to see him pinching people, pulling people's hair, laughing at people's faces. I'd make him captain for the game. Do you know what I mean? Sausage. But that's the kind of filth that I want to see this Saturday night.
You're playing in midfield. I'm going to ask for 3 off the basis of the fact that it might be a 2 and a 1. What are you doing?
I don't want to play 3.
Who do you want to play?
I want to play 4. Because Salah's going to play, and I do not want to see Salah playing on right wing. I'd rather see Salah playing far closer to Ekitike up front. And if he can drop into the 10, he can pull right, whatever he wants to do. But I don't want him picking up, getting the ball on the touchline. He can't. He doesn't have a way home anymore to do that. So I think because you're playing a 2, then I want to see a 4. Now you can have a flat 4 like we did away from Frankfurt, or you can have a diamond 4. But I want to see in that 4, I want to see Gravenberch if he's fit. I want to see Szoboszlai. I think those 2 have got to be in the centre. And then Wirtz played on the right against Frankfurt. I'd also quite comfortably play Jones on the left. And then
Jones
you can
might be fit.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Jones is going to be there, does it?
Gravenberch should be fit, Jones probably won't be.
And I think that there's a question then. There's a question, and maybe you're putting Wirtz on the left. I don't want to see Gakpo. I don't want to see Gakpo. And if it's a 4...
Ever again.
And if you want to see a 4...
He's got 17 goals and assists in his last 17 games at Anfield.
I don't think the team can carry the 2 of them. I just don't think they can do that at the moment. Plus, again, I've said what type of game I want. Gakpo is not up for that type of game.
I'm fine with that.
So
Curtis
Jones if he was
Jones
fit. But Chiesa, if you were playing a 3, for example, I'll play Chiesa on the left over Gakpo every single time.
Please, can people stop saying they're going to pick Chiesa from the start? He's a lovely fella, he's got a great song. Put him in the endo bracket for me, please. He's fucking
He's
crap.
not in the endo.
He is. He's not good enough. Bring him on with 15 minutes to go and he runs around brilliant. And he's got the quality to score goals. He would drive me insane.
The bar is so low now that running round is enough for me.
If Liverpool play a 4, he can't play Chiesa anyway, in my opinion. If Liverpool play a 4-3-3, then he gets in ahead of Gakpo every day of the week at the moment, up top on the left. Definitely. But if they're playing a 4, Jones one throws me a little bit of a curveball into who's the 4th, because I'm not sure it's McAllister. I'm not sure it is. So how long did he play in this week, by the way?
Sorry,
60 minutes.
A 4 though, that is a narrow 4 evening there, isn't it though? So you're not...
Depends if you're playing him across, like we did away from home with Frankfurt.
So, or maybe a 2 and a 2 type of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Gravenberch picks himself if he's fit because he's brilliant. Szoboszlai picks himself because he's absolutely brilliant. I would personally pick Wirtz and have McAllister to come on. And then the front 3, probably, I think, if Isak's fit, which it doesn't look like he's going to be, picks itself, and I agree with you, no Gakpo. I'd start Ekitike, Isak, Salah. If that's not the case, I'd just move Ekitike. No, sorry, put Gakpo there and move Ekitike into the middle. I think it almost, you find a way to, it picks itself really with the injuries that we've got and the challenges that we face, I think.
I think the manager will pick Gakpo. I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. And if he scores, by the way, I still won't agree with it.
No, that's fine, but I'm sorry.
No,
This is
I like
your
listening
bloody
to the
mind.
men talk, that's why.
That's the bloody mind in us all before, you know, if he scores, by the way, I still won't agree with it.
I still won't be happy about it.
That brace, don't agree with it.
I agree with Kev, as always. I would have liked to have seen Florian midweek more to be like, I think that there was a boost in confidence after international duty for him that I think like I would have just given him more minutes to kind of keep it. I just worry that he'll come back on and it'll feel like he's taken a few steps back again potentially, but I think Mohamed Salah will be on the people on the front line of the fight that you're willing to have. He's there, knuckle dusters on, ready to go. Riding a horse.
Plus as well, riding a horse, but you'd imagine he'd at least get a header in, wouldn't you? There's a game to be had like Stu has there, but the problem with that is we need the opposition to want that same game. And even Emilia doesn't strike me as the type of fella who's going to be throwing bombs in the dressing room.
You're right.
Do you know what I mean? He's going to say, sit in, make them work, frustrate them.
Yeah.
It's hard to have a battle with somebody who doesn't want to battle with you. So I think get as many technically brilliant footballers on as you can.
But no passengers, and I don't want to be second to first balls or second balls.
Listen, I totally
and that's what I mean.
that.
Whether you're playing the game in their half, you're playing it in the centre, you're playing whether they're deep, whether they're pressing onto us, I don't really care.
This is my thing. The thing
I just want to be first to the ball.
What I think we've not been very good at in this run of defeats, and even a team a little bit beforehand, was we've not played the game in front of us well enough. So for me, all I want to see is when Liverpool are pressing high, I want to see everyone pressing high with full commitment. When we need to sit in, which we will have to do at some point during the game, and pick up some second balls, I want everyone sat in picking up second balls. Whatever it is we're all doing, let's all do it as a group. And that's one of the things I think's been missing.
Well, that's what we were saying against United, wasn't it, before, about the gap in the middle? Yeah. It's like having two different sides.
Exactly.
You need to move.
I fucking hate a broken team. Some managers are good at a broken team. Mourinho could pick a brilliant broken team. Yeah. I hate a broken team. And all the Liverpool teams I've liked, with the possible exception of a little period under Benitez, they haven't been broken teams. Yeah. They're all, like, Houlier's sides, for instance, when they were defensive, fucking hell, everyone was defensive.
A broken team only works, I think, against a team who have got, like, really good attacking players, and I'm not sure Villa necessarily have. If you've got a team like Villa who are going to be tactically switched on with an unbelievable manager who's got a real eye for detail, and you've got a gap in the middle of the pitch, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
As you say, we need to... The problem we've got is sometimes we compress the pitch too much, because they play United done it, they play the really high line, and then our defenders were walking forward with the ball, so we're compressing it and taking away all of our own space. What we need to do is, when that happens, we make it wider, we go further out to the sides and we move it quickly. And sometimes that is side to side, because you need them to move as much as we move, because that's what creates the gaps. And we've got the players to do. Honestly, Wright in a game like that United game, in that hole in the middle, could kill you, absolutely kill you. And potentially you've got a very similar game coming up against Aston Villa.
Excellent stuff from Emilia, from Stu, from Kev, from Erdinger, and from the Mayflower. Whatever you're doing, have a fantastic weekend. Liverpool, for the sake of Emilia's cells, just win.